Yo, what's up? So I'm hearing that Facebook and Instagram are banning Minister Farrakhan. They're trying to say he's spewing hate speech. And they're the ones that allowed Facebook ain't got no voice to talk because them jive turkeys allowed that old Mark Zuckerberg to do a Ponzi scheme and manipulate votes with the Russian hustle with Putin. So you got no room to talk. And you done had white supremacists and all kinds of things go through Facebook and Instagram and all that. So how can you sit there and mess with the Minister Farrakhan? That don't even be making no sense. I mean, Farrakhan with the Million Man March, which was an atonement, was a responsibility for black men to say to take care of yourself and show some pride and to stand up for yourself. Whenever you ever known to Farrakhan to tell any of the followers to go out there and kill Whitey and shoot up Whitey? Who actually comes up and thinks of this stuff? Now, all these social media platforms are on that plantation mindset. But you know what? They'll sit there and promote white nationalists. Steve Bannon, David Duke, Donald Trump, all that, Rudy Giuliani, all of them. Believe me, they'll sit there and promote that. You got to ask yourself, how they gonna pick on a black man who has showed dignity, and you live in America and you're supposed to freedom of speech. So what's your problem? If you ever listen to what Farrakhan be talking about, you don't have to agree with everything, but I tell you one thing, he makes you think. He been a black man that's been about consistency about what he said, And ask yourself, yeah, I got no problem with Minister Farrakhan at all. I'm gonna tell you something. You need more black folks like Farrakhan on the real. Because, see, you white folks be too comfortable, and if they think they get somebody black, they can pat on the head and ignore what's really going on with the racism and the real terrorists and the real problem. They'll sit there and make a token out of you in a New York Minute. See, bottom line is, if you don't have mental control of yourself and what your well-being, you'll go for anything. So ask yourself, Mr. Farrakhan has been consistent with what he's about. He's pro-black. He ain't racist. First of all, black people can't be racist because they don't own nothing in this country. But more importantly, he's been about uplift, and what he's spewed about has been about trying to find a balance. He's trying to talk yourself through things, make you think about things. That's what you need more of. But now, if you sitting up here talking about mumbling rapping and you talking about cutting some keys, drinking on some syrup, and you basically playing into every stereotype that will have these white-owned, Jewish-owned, Italian-owned labels to pat you on the head, give you a cookie, and give you some milk, and say you're a good boy, you good for massa. That's fine. But when someone black can speak their mind with intellect, dignity, stand for something, then they become a threat. And you have to ask yourself, why is this? How is a man that's in his 70s now all of a sudden he's such a threat that he's going to be banned from Facebook and Instagram? That don't be making no sense. So, I be looking at them real cross-eyed and sideways with what they're about. Because I'm like, you can't go and tell people, it's always black folks that these white racist media goes after. Ain't heard nobody say, we're going to go ban Donald Trump, David Duke, Steve Bannon. Ain't heard that. Ain't nobody said we're going to ban Pat Buchanan. Ain't heard nobody said that. All of these NFL owners who sat there and who refused to acknowledge Colin Kaepernick. No, but when you black and you stand for something, you really are about something, and you ain't for the foolery, and you about that business, you about that life, they always want to try to put a fork in you and stick you. So I tell anybody, go listen to Farrakhan. And what you do, put links up on Facebook, put links up on Instagram, and see if they take you down. Do it. Because this is freedom of speech. That is some racist hypocrisy. So, as a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go find me some Farrakhan stuff. I'm going to stick it on Facebook. I'm going to stick it to Instagram. I'm gonna stick it to them jive turkeys because they ain't gonna ban. Tired folks always trying to tell somebody, well, you're not good enough to be a good enough Negro. You're too scary. No, bump all that. Ain't scary enough because the bottom line is America needs to really understand the plight. People need to understand the plight of the African American experience in this country, and they start trying to tell you the Dallas mutant and ban and all this garbage. They don't do it on the other side. Why is that? Because that's control. That's privilege. Believe that. So anyway, Facebook and Instagram is full of it for messing with Mr. Farrakhan. That's my take about that. For reading comments, hit the subscribe. When the bell rings, that's a new one. I'm out and I'm mad.